Hi listeners, it's Kat here from Aghast. I just wanted to take a minute outside of the show to let you know about alter ego empowerment coaching. It's time to invest in your relationship with yourself. We all have a tendency to put other people or tasks first, but in doing so, we can sometimes neglect our relationship with ourselves. Let me be your advocate and show you a kinder, gentler way to treat the most important person in your life, yourself. Alter Ego Wellness offers life coaching to help you achieve the life you desire through interactive online coaching sessions. We also offer online yoga and meditation classes. If you think Alter Ego Wellness may help you, please feel free to contact me, Catherine, at alteregowellness@outlook.com or at alteregowell on Instagram. Okay, now back to our show.
Hey folks, by God, here we go, another episode of Aghast. Oh yeah, that feels good, like a swift swig of some diet cola with a little bit of bite. I don't know what I'm talking about here. I never know what to do with these intros, so let's just get into it. Here's what we have for you today. We got Girl Guides, Inconclusive Semen, Cave Writing, and a Prison Break. If this sounds like just a list of porno genres to you, you're disgusting. Can you imagine looking up, just logging on to Pornhub and being like, alright, what is going to get my nut today? Prison Break, no, I don't need that. Cave Writing, Inconclusive Semen videos. Those are usually past the 40-minute mark. That's the story that I need. That is the cum that I desire. No, sadly we are talking about the Girl Scout murders. This one's gonna suck. It's gonna suck bad because you can just imagine what this is going to entail. I hate it. So stay tuned and see if you hate it as well. Grab yourself something alcoholic or whatever the hell, and let's get into it. My name is John, and I am Kat, who is currently drinking her green/peppermint tea while playing Hogwarts Legacy before work. Priorities. And this is Aghast.
Hi everyone.
Oh goodness me, we're back. We are back. Episode 67. Yeah.
Did you know there's a closed road on?
Oh, I don't give a shit. Enough. They don't know these things. Episode 67, folks.
For 67.
We're not gonna stop. We can't stop. There's too much horror and crime in the universe. And we will cover it all, one way or another, right down to the last petty, dime store.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
What do we have today?
We have a true crime story.
No hints? No chit chat?
How are you doing today, John?
I gotta go to work, so let's get this fucking shit over with.
I have the day off.
I don't fucking care.
Why don't you give us our disclaimer?
No chit chat. Nothing.
Well, what do you want to chit chat?
All right, fine. I will do this. Cue the fucking music. Hey folks, we here at Aghast have a lighter touch to true crime. The lightest touch you could possibly imagine. We are like the 2-ply tissue that you pluck out of the wastepaper basket, folded with yesterday's snot, and just ever so gently dabbing the pre-cum off your penis.
Oh my God.
Because you had to stop masturbating early because someone else wants to use the office washroom.
Oh my God.
Wiping that pre-cum diligently and vigorously off the penis of true crime in the office washroom of podcasts.
So are we the pre-ejaculate?
No.
Okay.
Were you not listening? We're the Kleenex. And the reason we have to have this air of levity, the reason we have to be this gentle, is because true crime sucks. It always has and always will. And we have to go to work because we can't make money off this, and we can't be riddled with depression and sadness as we try and deal with the bullshit of our day and the fucking assholes we work with. So if you are not a fan of ridiculing, insulting, and belittling murderers, rapists, and their shithole families that created them, and all the other bastards that made it easier for them to do what they did, if you don't like that, you are a clown and a fool and an uncultured son of a bitch. For the rest of you, you are intelligent and you have common sense and rational thought. And please enjoy this beautiful episode of Castbox. Buckle your seatbelts. Best of luck to you and good luck. Thank you.
5.5 minutes in and we have our disclaimer.
Yeah, well, you know what? I saw the fucking statistics. People stop after my disclaimer. They're like, I've heard it all now. I've heard the best part of the show.
Do you guys know that we have bloopers at the end of our show? We should probably advertise that a bit more. So if you just listen past the outro music, our bloopers are there.
Our bloopers are there.
They're there on every episode.
Okay, can we get on with the goddamn show?
Yeah. I just want to comment. Your beard is looking luscious.
Thank you. So is yours.
John has...
Let's go. Did you just fart?
No, it's the chair.
Okay, let's go.
John has decided to bring his beard back, and it's, I'm here for it.
Yeah, but she still won't sit on my dick.
Okay, you're cutting that out.
Let's go.
Are you ready?
Yes.
On June 12, 1977, 8-year-old Lori Farmer, 9-year-old Michelle Goose, and 10-year-old Doris Milner were on their way to a 2-week adventure at the Girl Scout camp in Locust Grove, Oklahoma.
Locust Grove.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to visit that grove. There might be some bugs. Bring one of those scented candles.
The camp opened in 1928 and had been home for the Girl Scouts each summer for their 2-week Girl Scout camp.
Exciting.
Upon their arrival to board the camp bus, nerves and excitement were beginning to come over everyone. 10-year-old Doris Milner was feeling homesick before she had even left her mother's side. A fellow camper, Michelle Hoffman, had noticed Doris's nerves, so took it upon herself to go and introduce herself to Doris and her mother. Her mother expressed Doris's fears of not wanting to go to camp, and Michelle offered to take Doris to the bus, which she reluctantly agreed to go. Doris's mother promised that she would pick her up in a few days if Doris really didn't want to stay. The pair sang songs the whole way down to board the bus. The camp was nestled on 410 acres of property in the dense woods.
Ooh, scary.
There was a storm their first night that likely heightened any fear that some campers were already feeling. Michelle and camp counselor Carla Wilhite had escorted Doris to her tent. She would be bunking in the Kiowa tent number 7, where Lori Farmer and Michelle Goose were already bunking. The girls got settled in for the first dark and stormy night at camp.
Oh, for fuck's sakes. The pathetic fallacy of this story so far is
it's
just too much. It's way too much.
On the morning of June 13th, Carla had woken up bright and early to get started on her day before the other campers would be rising. At 6 a.m., she headed down to the showers and made a very gruesome discovery.
Oh, God damn it.
She had stumbled upon the bodies of Lori Farmer, Michelle Goose, and Doris Milner.
Oh, what the fuck?
They were about 100 yards away from their tent. When she first came upon them, Carla had only seen Doris as she was laying on top of her sleeping bag. Lori and Michelle were zipped up inside of theirs a few feet away.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
It was very apparent that Doris was deceased. Carla had immediately ran off to get help. She had rallied up the nurse and the camp director, where the discovery of all 3 girls were then made.
Is it sad that I'm, thinking of, Sleepaway camp?
No.
Where the camp director's like, how am I going to explain this?
Oh my God. I am never going to financially recover from this.
The best part of Sleepaway camp is when the chef or whatever gets murdered in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Prior to the murders, in April of 1977, when a camp counselor was attending a training session there, she had found that some of her items had been rummaged through and that her donuts were stolen. Within the donut box was a note in all capital letters that stated, quote, "We are on a mission to kill 3 girls in Tent 1," end quote.
What?
What
the fuck?
They had believed this to be a prank. A few other weird things was that Carla heard a noise around 1:30 a.m. outside coming from behind the tents that previous night. It sounded like something or someone growling, but the noise stopped when she scanned her flashlight in the direction it was coming from. A surviving witness had also come forward saying they woke in the night to their tent flap opening and a man shining a flashlight into the tent. He then released the flap and headed toward tent 8. There was also a flashlight found near the girls' bodies that had a fingerprint on it.
What is this? What is going on here?
After their autopsy, it was revealed that Michelle and Lori's cause of death was blunt force trauma to their heads. Doris was severely beaten and strangled with a ligature.
Oh, fuck off. That poor girl. Shit.
Their autopsy also showed that the weapons used to bludgeon the girls were held in both right and left hands.
Oh, so he was going at it pretty fucking hard.
Unfortunately, the weapons have never been found. Sadly, all 3 girls had been sexually assaulted and semen had been left on each of their bodies.
Oh, for fuck's sakes. God damn it.
Investigators were able to determine that the crime took place in their Kiowa tent, and then they were moved to the tree where they were found afterwards. All of the Girl Scout campers were immediately sent home as investigators got started on trying to solve this gruesome attack and murder.
Fuck. This is horrible.
The media surrounding this tragedy had circulated across the country, and investigators were desperate to find whoever did this. They searched the surrounding woods and properties for any clues and followed up on information and leads that were given to them. On June 14th, investigators had found 2 different sizes of shoe prints, one outside of their tent and another inside the bunk in blood. It was a size 9.5.
Size 9.5 guy?
Men's. It was a tennis shoe.
So it was like a tiny little bastard.
It says Mr. Size 8 sitting beside me.
Excuse me, I'm size 10.
Okay.
God, you fart sniff.
A hair that didn't belong to any of the victims was also found in the duct tape that was used on them. Despite strict instructions from the investigators, the press had published the details about the shoe, which I completely understand why that made them upset, because that gives the murderers a heads up of information that was found.
Yeah.
And investigators want to keep some information close to the chest.
Oh, of course.
On the 15th of June, Jack Schroff, a ranch owner, had contacted police about items stolen from his property, and it was believed that these items may have been connected to the murders. The items stolen were food, beer, rope, and tape.
Yeah.
The rope that was stolen was very similar to the rope found at the scene. Jack Schroff had an airtight alibi and had even volunteered to take a polygraph test, which he passed. He was never, ever considered as a suspect.
Yeah, he must have had a super
which I know it's not the first where we've heard where criminals want to insert themselves into crime, but you know, he really took it upon himself to prove his innocence.
Yeah. Because that's a huge risk.
And with how terrible the crime was, police want to nail it on someone fast.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So you're right. It is taking a risk, but it's good that he did. Investigators and the public were also suspecting Jean Leroy Hart.
Oh, I wonder why. It's fucking 3 names, and one of them is Leroy. Jesus Christ.
He had previously been in jail for abducting 2 pregnant women, raping them, and leaving them for dead. He had covered their entire head with duct tape and left thinking they would suffocate, but they were able to free themselves and seek help.
Fuck this guy.
The women had said that during the rape, he seemed incoherent and would even make growling and snarling noises, which sounds familiar because we had said earlier what Clara had heard. In 1973, he had escaped jail and was at large during the time the girls had been killed.
How does he escape jail? What kind of jails do they have here? Where was this?
Ted Bundy escaped jail twice.
What? Who invented these jails? Like, why are they so...
You saw Shawshank Redemption.
Now, listen here. Andy Dufresne crawled through the muck and the mire, and he came out clean on the other side.
Crawl through shit. He's the only man to crawl through shit and come out clean on the other side.
Oh, I don't fucking know the stupid quote. It's Stephen King, for fuck's sakes. Read the fucking thing.
So was The Shining.
Enough with you. Enough. No, it wasn't. That was Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah. Okay.
Tell me more about Jean Leroy fucking Fart.
His childhood home was located only a mile from the camp. and he was 34 years old when the murders occurred. A farmer had come forward a couple weeks after the murders where they found deserted fires and cigarette butts. A prisoner then came forward speaking about a cave that was nearby the camp where he had met Hart after the murders. This prisoner had also been convicted of killing his 3-year-old son. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
against killing kids.
No, but
Within this cave was writing that said 77-6-17, June 17th, 1977, 4 days after the murder. There's also writing that said, "The killer was here. Bye-bye, fools."
what is this shit? Caves and stuff.
Jean Leroy Hart was eventually recaptured. When they interrogated him about the murders of the Girl Scout campers, he said, quote, "You'll never pin it on me," end quote.
How was he captured?
He was just recaptured. Like he was.
They found the bastard.
Yeah.
But he was buying cigarettes at a
No. He was sentenced to 305 years for the kidnapping and rape of the 2 pregnant women. When investigating his involvement with the Girl Scout murders, there were inconsistencies such as the fingerprint on the flashlight not matching Jean's, the semen tests came back inconclusive, and the bloody footprint was too small. But they do believe 2 murders that were at the scene because the left and right hands.
Yeah.
And I'm not throwing shade, but if Jean had help from that 16-year-old prisoner, the 16-year-old could very likely have a smaller foot.
Yeah.
Did they ever test the 16-year-old's fingerprints?
Yeah.
Did they ever test his semen? Did they ever check his shoes,
Yeah.
or his foot size? He was found not guilty for their murders. On June 4th, 1979, he died of a heart attack in jail while in the exercise yard. He was lifting weights for an hour and then croaked.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
They tested the semen again in 1989, believing it to be Hart's, but it still came back inconclusive against him. In May of 2022, even though still inconclusive, investigators strongly believe Hart was the one that murdered the girls. Mike Reed, the sheriff for Mayes County, had said, quote, "Unless something new comes up, something brought to light we are not aware of, I am convinced where I'm sitting of Hart's guilt and involvement in this case," end quote.
It does feel like there had to have been another person.
Oh, absolutely. There's 2 different size footprints. There was right and left hands,
Yeah.
June 13th, 1977 was the very last day that the camp was open. It had served the Girl Scouts for almost 50 years before the tragedy, but after the murders, they never opened their doors again.
Oh, yeah, of course.
As of this recording, no suspect other than Hart has been named and no arrest has been made.
Jeez, that's a bummer
It's
of a
hopeful
fucking story.
It's hopeful to hear that as of May 2022, people are still looking into the case.
Yeah. God, this looks like the set of fucking Friday the 13th.
That's Doris Milner. Isn't it so sad to know that she did not want to go? I cannot even imagine.
Yeah.
And the mother cannot blame herself. She
No.
can't. But I cannot imagine the guilt her mother
absolutely.
must have had because she didn't want to go.
Yeah.
And she promised to pick her up in a few days if she really didn't adjust. And then this fucking happens.
That's fucking
God,
brutal. That's
I don't even know
horrible.
how you survive that.
Look how young these girls are.
I know.
Shit.
The oldest was 10.
Fuck, that's terrible.
Yeah.
What a fucking bastard.
I know. 8, 9, and 10.
That's just awful.
I know. And then so that's a layout of the camp.
Oh, okay.
So that's where Carla's tent was, tent 8, and that's where the girls were found. So that's where they slept.
And then drag them all the way over
Yeah.
there. Shit.
That's Jean Leroy Hart.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Is that what you pictured?
No, I did. It looks like George Takei. That piece of shit.
Yeah.
God, this guy looks like he would do your taxes badly. Like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
He looks like a guy who bites his bottom lip when he jerks off into a toilet.
Like Jean Leroy Hart, I totally imagine to look like Samuel Jackson's character in Black Snake Moan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like just like this crazy haired wife beater guy.
I'm going to remedy you. Sit down.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
Yeah, no, scroll back to this son of a bitch. I'm not done insulting this
We
fuck.
don't know. Like, yeah, he still deserves to be insulted because of the crime he committed.
Well, just like Just for looking the way he does, he should be insulted. What the fuck is that haircut?
It was the 70s.
I don't give a fuck. The other cop knows what the fuck he's doing. He's got strong sideburns. This son of a bitch is like, you know what? The entire back of my head is a sideburn. What the fuck?
He looks a little bit like lost and confused in his mugshot.
Yeah.
Like one eye is going up and the other eye is centered.
Yeah, like look at the fucking camera, you fool.
His nostrils aren't symmetrical.
Isn't that always the way?
Yeah.
These dirty fucking rapists and their unsymmetrical nostrils.
Yeah, that seems to be a trend.
Yeah.
And like glasses. You
Always
know, they've always got the fucking glasses.
I love how like those
Keeping
types of glasses.
my eye on you. John wears glasses.
I do not. I wear fucking contacts.
Those glasses are the same glasses that woman has at the end of My Cousin Vinny.
Oh yeah.
And he like takes the measuring tape like 50 yards, like halfway.
Yeah.
I think I need a new pair.
Oh my god.
I think they're fine. How many fingers am I holding up, dear? 4.
Oh my
and
god.
it was 2.
Oh god.
I think I need a new pair.
Oh my god.
The defense is wrong.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
That movie was fantastic. Look at his little pursed lips. I bet he blows himself kisses before heading off to work.
And like, as if he died lifting weights for an hour.
I totally forgot about that. No wonder he died lifting weights. This guy looks like a shrimp.
Like,
Holy
he's
shit.
so skinny. And, well, I shouldn't say skinny, but he's like very low muscle mass.
How old was this son of a bitch?
He was 34 at the time of the murders, so the murders were in 77.
All right, let's do the math.
I would say that's an old fuck alert.
I bet it. Yeah, I'm betting it's an old fuck alert. Come on.
Because that means he would have been born in the 30s. Or the 40s, I mean.
1977 minus
34.
1943. Just on the cusp. Just on the cusp. 30s. Do your fucking math. Get a calculator.
I corrected myself and said 40s,
Okay,
you nut.
Whatever. Folks, fuck Gene Leroy Fart. Old fuck alert.
I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure.
This guy is clearly definitely from the class of, like, Joe Biden. You know,
Yeah.
he is a Joe Biden contemporary.
We should put a video on this video of Joe Biden falling at the Navy.
Man, he hit the ground hard, and everyone cheers.
I think it's funny, and wherever you lie politically, but I think it's funny that, like, when Donald Trump was president and he, like, slowly walked up the plane ramp, and they're like, Donald Trump's slow walk raises concerns about his health and how fit he is to be a president. And literally, Joe Biden gets lost and stumbles into random places and falls all over the place and can't make his sentence. And yet you hear nothing about concerns for his...
Well, it's bullshit.
I know. Anyways, we're not American. We're Canadian. We have our own shit to deal with.
Yeah, we got our own fucking pedophile, rapist, blackface son of a bitch to deal with.
The level of admiration I actually have for China.
Anyway, any hoozle. All right, enough of this piece of garbage. I'm glad he's fucking dead. I'm glad he died from a heart attack. It would have been better if it was a town hanging, but, you know, we'll take what we can get. And condolences to those families.
Absolutely.
Those poor girls.
And
it's
I
an absolute
hope,
fucking tragedy, and it's fucking ridiculous that it
I
happened.
hope justice is found soon.
Yeah.
I really hope. I'm glad I find it interesting that it keeps coming back as inconclusive.
Yeah.
Like, they're not saying it's not a match, but it's...
I just want to hear from the person analyzing it, being like, come on, give us a percentage of inconclusivity. Mm-hmm. Like, how inconclusive is it? And
Yeah,
if he's
does
like, 90% of a
Yeah.
match, then it's him.
Exactly.
But
I would even say if it's like fucking 60 or 70% a match.
Yeah.
If it goes over 50%, I'm wondering if they both took part in the sexual assault and if it's a mixture of semen.
Well, I think that's fucking terrible. If there was a second guy, I hope he died being raped by a fucking mountain lion in the middle of a fucking field with his face down in the dirt in a fucking anthill. Mm-hmm. Piece of shit. Okay, let's move on to the erudite word. No, we've read this one.
I think we've read all of these. Do we have to move to a new wrestler?
Yeah, we've read them all.
Okay, who? Ric Flair?
Who would be a good... Why don't we do Joe Bob quotes?
Okay. Joe Bob Briggs on Shudder, Fridays at 9. Shudder sponsor us.
Look at that fucking picture of him. He looks fantastic.
Is so attractive.
Oh, God, what a great guy.
I need that hanging.
Joe Bob Briggs is a wonderful man. He's a
Yes.
patron saint of ours. And here, let's listen to the insightful musings of Joseph Robert Briggs. Faith is like a kernel of wheat.
No, that would have been a good one.
Okay, we're done. Come on.
All right, everyone. Thank you for bearing with us this long.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Definitely take a drink for John's disclaimer.
Okay. Drive home safely, folks. Take care of yourselves.
You can check us out on YouTube at Catam Concoction.
That's CATAMCONCOCTION.
And on Instagram at cast_aghast.
Remember, there's a silent H. Cue the fucking music. Shut the fuck up and don't drink anymore. Cue the fucking music. We are like the two-ply... off the penis of true... the gentle tissue brushing off, wiping off the pre-cum of true crime.
Say S.
The pre-sperm of true...
On June 12th, 1977, 8-year-old Lori Farmer, 9-year-old Michelle Geis. Did you say Geis? Goose?
I'd say goose.
Okay. The media surrounding this try
to read. Just read.
Mr. English degree.
Do you want me to activate Grammarly?
You're so funny. The media surrounding this tragedy.
Again,
now I can't.
Tragedy. What the fuck?
Which sounds familiar to what we heard Carla say earlier. Clara. Which sounds familiar, what we heard.
God, it's
I feel like Darcy from Joe Bob, because every time she interjects, it's like scripted.
Yeah.
It's like a really good movie that has, elements of.
Oh God, sweetie, my God! I'm just looking at the status bar here. We're scrolled up so high.
No, it's shorter.
Oh God in heaven!
In 1973, he is.
Oh my God! Is there any?
This is a terrible. This is such a sad story.
1973, you shit.
Where am I? Your leg is shaking from being on your toesies. A farmer had come forward a couple weeks after the murders where they found deserted fire.
Well, they discovered deserted fire.
It
seems weird, though, that a prisoner would come forward and be like, hey, I was supposed to meet this guy at a cave.
I met this guy at the cave after the murders.
Oh.
Listen to the information I'm giving you.
Okay.